Na chafu na taka pahali pote. Tuchukue taka pahali tumesimama. Pale mbele nafasi ni kidogo. Pale mbele nafasi ni kidogo vile tulikubaliana wananchi. Asante. Asante. Tunaanzia hapa kufagia sasa, tukiweka tuanzie wale wanafagia, tuanze upande huu, tuanze tukielekea kule ndani. Tukiweka kwa wheelbarrow takataka yote tuliyonayo leo. Asante wale tunaendelea. Tusimamishe hapo kwanza, tufagie hii yote. Hata upande huu mwingine. Wananchi tusonge nyuma kidogo. Tusonge nyuma kidogo, tupate nafasi. Tusonge nyuma. Tukiweka kwa wheelbarrow zikienda kutupa taka pahali. Asante wananchi, tuungane na Mheshimiwa Rais pahali tulipo, tuokote taka. Pahali umesimama, tuokote taka. Let's move please. Please, tusonge, tuokote. Ile wheelbarrow imejaa tupeleke. Tuendeshe tupeleke, tulete ingine. Asante. Tupeleke wheelbarrow iko ingine. Tufungue njia, tufungue upande huu wa nyuma, kijana wa wheelbarrow hivi. Asante, tufungulie njia. Asante, tumefungua. Tusonge mbele. Tusonge. Hii ndio tunataka kilela. Hii ndio tunataka iwekwe. Oh. Excuse me, hii ndio ondoa hii. Asante. Hiyo ingine wheelbarrow iko hapo. Tusonge nyuma. Tusonge tukienda mbele. Tusonge tukienda mbele. Ile kazi mingi iko mbele yetu. Tusonge tukienda mbele. Tuchukue hii. Lete wheelbarrow tujaze hii. Okota na tuokote na mkono sasa. Ili tuende kwa dump site. We can move ahead to the dump site. Okay. Yes. People from here. Wengine tusimame, hakuna nafasi mbele. Tusimamie hapa. Asante, tusimame sasa, tusimame hapo. Asante, tuko pamoja ndio.
The cleanup has officially been launched by the president as well as the governor for Nairobi, among other leaders. And part of the delegation that is here today to kick off this process includes officials from UN agencies such as UNEP and UN Habitat. And part of their clarion call is that the city needs to move ahead with cleanliness programs. I've spoken to a number of residents and operators of businesses in Uhuru Market here, and they say that some of the problems that they are facing here concern dust, and they are calling upon the relevant authorities to install, among other infrastructure, cabro flooring, and also they have also talked about the issue of water shortages in this market. They have also spoken about the element of sewer waste as well as the smell that comes from the sewer. They hope that the cleanup exercise will also head in that direction. They say the sewer system was installed in 1973 when the market was launched in 1974 by the first ever female mayor of the city, Margaret Kenyatta, then. And they say ever since that time, no changes have ever been done, no improvements. They've also spoken concerning the element of roofs here being made of asbestos, which has already been declared a hazardous carcinogenic element. They say that they hope that new stalls will be made to cater for the over 5,000 people that are operating businesses here. Now, as it is now, the cleanup is already underway, the president taking personal responsibility and dirtying his hands in the process, aided by the governor of Nairobi County, among other leaders. And some of the waste that we've seen littering this place include plastic waste, that's bottles, polythene papers, among others. We've also seen some machinery that has been deployed to aid in the cleanup, including exhausters and bulldozers. The exhausters will be largely taking care of the sewage system and clogging it and making sure that the day is a success. Now, this might be interpreted to reflect the model that has been largely practiced to a great extent of success in cities such as Kigali, just down here in the Eastern African region. But residents and operators of businesses here say they hope the same model might be adopted here so that we have more regular cleanups of not just markets, but also have that extended to the larger part of the city. Now, among other issues that have been addressed here by the leaders include the element of housing, particularly in the regions of Eastlands zone in the city, which, according to the census of 2009, houses almost a third of the total population of the city, and this runs into millions. They also face challenges including insufficient infrastructure such as road access networks. And the governor of Nairobi County has also spoken concerning the element of us having more fire stations. He's spoken about having more fire stations being built across the city to cater for the needs of, in case we have emergencies. Remember, most of the markets in the city have fallen victim to fire incidences. And Gikomba Market, which is not very far from here, happens to be one prime example. Hata unaniletea mic wanafikiri. Endelee. Tuko on air? Tuko on air? Tuko on air ama bado? Now, from what we are seeing here is that the cleanup is still underway. It happens to be a fairly large market, and what we are seeing is that county workers and other dignitaries have all mingled together with operators of businesses in this market. They have all donned reflector jackets. Others have gumboots, others brooms, and everyone is busy getting to work. Of course, there are plumes of dust here, but that's the process that takes place whenever you want cleanliness. You just have to sacrifice for a while and dirty your hands and feet. Now, just ahead of me, I can see one exhauster truck that will be in charge of taking care of unclogging the sewage system. And security has been really tight here. Remember, it's not just the president that is here, but you also have other dignitaries from UNEP and UN Habitat, which are United Nations agencies. We also have local leadership, and the place is really jam-packed. Now, currently, I can see a bulldozer also getting down to work. And all around me, apart from people milling around the area, we can see wheelbarrows are all over the place. Pressmen are also doing their thing, and everyone is doing his level best to ensure that the day is a success. I can see a heavy security detail moving in this direction, and I presume that is the president's entourage. I understand from this event he will be heading straight to Subukia for another function. So what is happening right now is that the cleanup is still underway, but again, different people, dignitaries, definitely have packed events or have packed days. Just a recap concerning the history of the market. It was built in 1974. The groundwork began as early as 1973, including the piping as well as the sewerage system that has, according to what some of the long-term traders here tell us, no improvements have ever been made ever since that time. And congestion has been part and parcel of not only Uhuru Market, but other markets across the city, Gikomba and the likes. The increasing population of the city, as well as the search for a livelihood by young people and old people across the city, has meant that Uhuru Market is also congested. Remember, I mentioned earlier concerning the element of dust. Traders here tell us that they wish the relevant authorities will address the issue of dust by having the area carpeted with cabro, which will significantly reduce the impact of dust on the operations here. I've earlier mentioned also the element of having the shelters around the market. Looking around, you can see that the roofs that we have here for the market stalls and sheds are made of cabro and are made of asbestos. And asbestos has already been ruled as one of the hazardous materials that are suspected to cause cancer. So some of the traders have been telling me that these roofs have been an area of concern for them. They say they fear for their health because of asbestos around. They hope that better roofing materials that are not hazardous to the occupants of stalls here will be used in improving the market. I've also tried to find out what time the traders here open. They say they operate roughly from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. And they say this is because of security. They hope that lighting will be better improved. They believe that this market, if attended to correctly, it will result in a 24-hour economy around here. Now, movement has come closer to where I am. I can see the presidential motorcade. I can also see Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko around here, indicating that they might be either on their way out or moving to another location. I can see the president from a distance here. I earlier mentioned that apart from this function, he also has another function in Subukia. He is milled by a number of people shouting, and the security people have a really difficult time trying to keep away the crowds from squeezing the president. We can also see the presidential motorcade is also moving, but the president has decided to move towards the crowd on the other hand. Of course, some dust here, a lot of movement. But looking at the cleanup, what was happening on the ground here, I can see a significant portion of the materials that were littering the ground, plastic bottles, paper bags, polythene bags, they have sufficiently been cleared from the area. Now, you can see the presidential motorcade is heading out of the market, and that might be marking the end of his presence here. But the impact, according to traders, they hope will be one that they will continue having such cleanups taking place on a more regular basis so that it doesn't happen to be just one-off. We're trying to borrow from other nations that have sufficiently addressed the issue of littering in major cities. Nairobi happens to be the largest city across East and Central Africa, but the element of having litter or having garbage across the city is still one that has made the city lose its shine. It used to be known as the city in the sun, but garbage has become one monumental issue across the city. So as the presidential motorcade moves out of the market, traders here believe that it will leave, that his presence here and his participation today will mark a beginning of better times, a cleaner cities, and a cleaner Uhuru market. Back to you.
Nimefanya comment na mtu ananipigia kwa gala. Nishinda WhatsApp na nilikuwa live. Mimi nikashinda. Sasa niko live huko. Nikashinda nilikuwa live. Nikashinda niko on ama niko off. Niko on kiteno. So unajua to gallery na to genius. Sasa nikaanza so niko on ama siko on. Niko on hapo. Nikamza na ngoma. Sio basi. Hizi simama.